Hi there, this is Jody Rogers, and we are on day 71 of our 100 days to creating your clear 2020 vision. Today's topic, be joyful. To start off, I just want to say that happiness and joy, they're two different things. If happiness is your ultimate goal in life, you're never going to be happy if that's your goal. Because real joy comes in putting others before yourself and in seeking a meaningful, purposeful life, not in seeking the end result of happiness. Happiness without meaning is shallow. If your only aim in life is happiness, then meaning is really missing. You need to ask yourself, like we talked about earlier this week, what matters? And when what matters to you is actually going to have an impact on someone else, that's where you can start to find real joy. So just a few points about joy. How you might turn up the volume on your joy dial. 1, joy comes through generosity, through those random acts of kindness. I don't know if you've ever been on the giving or receiving end of one of those, but I remember the first time I was a recipient of that, driving through the Tim Hortons drive-through, and the woman in front of me bought my coffee. Now, this is years ago, before it was really a thing. And wow, I just was so impressed and so amazed that someone would do that for me. And so then I bought the person's coffee behind me. And, it did bring me joy to do that, especially when I knew how good it felt to be on the receiving end of that. So joy can come through those random acts of kindness. So I just encourage you to look for ways to bring joy to others' lives. Another fact about joy is that joy and suffering, they actually can coexist. But happiness can't coexist with suffering. Happiness is more of that lighter feeling, and sometimes we just can't be happy when we're in that suffering state, but we can still feel joy. It's a deeper sense of peace and purpose. I mean, not to belittle anyone's suffering, but even today at the dinner table, I was not in a happy state trying to talk to my children about how I just wish they would treat each other with kindness. I wasn't feeling very happy, but I still have joy in knowing that my time with them isn't over. I can still help create and raise these respectable human beings. And there's joy in that, joy in the journey. Joy flows from an investment in people. And meaning comes when you invest in what matters to you, particularly when there's a person on the other end of that. It's hard to find joy in just the accumulation of wealth or in simply, having the funds to buy a bigger house or get that great cottage. And I'm not saying those things aren't something we can aspire to. And if you have the means, fabulous. But the real joy comes when you get to invite people into your home and entertain and have fellowship with them and just love on them. And when you get to invite them to your cottage for the weekend and just have time for them and listen to them. Because joy comes from that investment in others. And lastly, joy is always rooted in your spiritual circumstances. It's not rooted in the physical, the financial, or the vocational. I mean, it's great if you can find pleasure in your job and if you feel happy and fit and healthy. Those things are all great. And if you have, achieved a certain level of wealth and a great salary and your business is doing well, but again, those aren't the things that bring you joy, but more your spiritual circumstances will help to bring you joy, especially in those times of suffering. So joy is not a feeling. It's not the same as being in a good mood. It's a pervasive sense of well-being. That expression, it is well with my soul. So what a great time of year this season to go and be joyful. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jody Rogers. Be sure to come back for more tips on creating a clear 2020 vision. See you tomorrow.